Good morning. Welcome to the Wednesday Do3 Daily Briefing. What have we got for you today? So not a huge amount today, quite a quiet one, but we're going to crack on straight away with the training session that we did this morning. What a killer. That was a tough session this morning. I had a message from Ben in saying, not in a million years would I have completed this morning's session if I was on my own. No, I totally agree with you on that one, Ben. That was a tough session this morning. So just shows the benefits of group training, because you wouldn't push yourself quite that hard very often if you haven't got your peers around you, keeping an eye on you and motivating you and all that kind of stuff. So morning, Stephanie. If anyone's watching and you want to say hello, then pop up on the screen and we'll say hello. If you've got any questions or comments or anything like that, pop that on the screen as well. And that's on Facebook, YouTube or Twitter or anywhere else that you happen to see us. So training session there this morning. We've still got problems with Training Peaks and Zwift connecting. So we're having to do a bit of kind of manual imports on the files and all that kind of thing. You should most of you should know how to do that by now. If you don't, then let us know. But I've done a video on it, but I'll do another video just to clarify a few things at some point today, hopefully. Morning, Mark. Mark's just popped up as well. Right, so let's have a look. So if we have a look at my screen here. So this is the session we completed this morning. So we should go in and analyze it and just have a look and see what we've got. So that's the beauty of using this this system now on Training Peaks, is it actually allows you to see how well the actual workout was followed there. You can just see my power line bombing along the top there. You can even see where I stopped and got a drink because I was starting to cook a little bit. But I followed that pretty well today by the looks of it. So if we come out of that, go back in, I'll tell you what the session was, just so as you've got it there. If you're watching and you want to repeat this session through yourself, obviously just kind of play the video back or freeze the screen and copy it across to whichever platform you use it on. But as you can see there, we effectively did like a little ramp up there, which is this section on the graph. So we ramped up 3 minutes. So it's actually got my power in there now, but effectively what we're doing is we're working up to just around kind of sub threshold on the warm up. So 3 minutes and another 3 minutes taking the effort up a little bit, another 2 minutes taking the effort up further still, and then we'd start our what we call under-over intervals. So the idea with these is that you do a period of time just below threshold, and then you do a period of time just above threshold, and you bounce around that kind of threshold area, around about the kind of FTP point, if you know what that is. So for myself, then I was doing, what was I doing? I was doing where is it here? So this is wrong. So I was on Zwift itself. This is obviously I'd have to check to see my numbers are right on here and whether or not it's I've got the right FTP in. But I was doing 280 watts for 2 minutes, and then 325 watts for 2 minutes, and then we were repeating that through. So effectively all you need to worry about is 2 minutes just below threshold, 2 minutes just above threshold, and then we did it again with no rest. So up, down, that's this block here, and then a 6 minute easy spin in between, an easy rest in between. And that 6 minutes was much needed to let the legs recover, because that's a tough session. You get 8 minutes around about threshold, and then we repeated it again, then we repeated it again, then we repeated it again. So it was certainly a challenging. You can see from my data there, 0.92 intensity factor overall. Oh, what's happened there? So let's get rid of that before you. Showing my emails. That's computers for you, doing what you don't want them to do. So what we're going to do tomorrow, let me just quit this so we can get back to where we were. Computers, don't you love them, eh? So tomorrow then, yeah, it was brutal. Andy's popped up to say it was brutal. Tomorrow we have an endurance session, you'd be glad to know. Endurance. Because that's going to be a lot easier. And we've got the same thing on Friday as well. So here we can see a little ramp up, 4 minute kind of ramp up there. Just nice and easy. Just get your legs moving. and then we start some, so 3 minutes at around about, let's say 8 out of 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10, around about that kind of effort level. When you import these files into your own Zwift trainer, it should actually kind of transfer across and use your FTP and actually give you power numbers to stick to. All right, so that's why I'm being a bit vague, because it's got my power numbers here, which will be different to yours. All right, but 3 minutes hard, 2 minutes. It's got harder on there, but it's not harder. These are descriptions that come in from Training Peaks. It's a little bit easier actually. So the power is down. So we do 3 minutes at the hardest level, 2 minutes a little bit easier, and then 1 minute we're going back up again. So it's kind of 3 minutes up here, 2 minutes down, and then 1 minute back up. I'm not explaining it very clearly, but it's easier if you import it. So we're doing that a couple of times, 3 times through, and then we're sitting there 10 minutes just steady. All right, which will be kind of 6 or 7 out of 10. The kind of pace you should be able to hold all day. All right, so it really isn't a strenuous workout. And then we're repeating this whole element again all the way through. Just realize I'm not showing you my screen there. So let's just drop that onto the screen so you can see what that looks like. All right, so there's the ramp up there. Hopefully you can see my mouse. And then we've got 3 little intervals on this section, repeating that through 2 more times, so 3 times altogether. And then 2 minutes at kind of 6 or 7 out of 10. And as you can see by the level of these, they're all pretty steady. They're not very difficult at all, really. So it should be a real change from what it felt like today. So we've got that tomorrow, and that should hopefully be all fine for you. So it shouldn't be too difficult. Let's get me back on the screen here. So that's the training. Didn't explain that very clearly, I don't think, but it makes more sense when you actually bring it into your Training Peaks account. If you're not connected up to us on Training Peaks, drop me a message, and there's no reason why we can't do that if you're not already involved. I'm trying to get as many people as possible to get involved with this, the morning meetup sessions, and try and keep everyone training together and motivated through the lockdown period. Okay, so that's that. What else have we got next? We've got birthdays. So happy birthday!
Happy birthday
to Topsy Scorer, Topsy, aka Liz Scorer from the squad. So happy birthday, Topsy! Hope you're having a lovely day. It started raining today. You've missed all the sun now. You've got a rainy day, but it's still going to be pretty nice out there. What else have we got? So today we have a live Q&A with John Davis. So John is the physio from Shire's Physiotherapy in Warwick, and we've worked with John, and he's our kind of go-to squad physio and has been for pretty much since the start, really, for several years now. So John and I are doing a live Q&A on YouTube at 6 p.m. this evening. So if you want to send some questions in to us beforehand, then do that, whether it be through YouTube or Facebook or wherever you happen to see us. Those messages will come through to us, and we'll ask John live on air about those questions for you. Or if you want to tune in at 6 o'clock, then just send us through the questions as and when, and we'll ask them when they pop up onto our screen. But the best thing to do is, if you definitely want a question asked of John, then send it through beforehand, and then you'll kind of be further up the pecking order and the queue for the questions. So really good chance for you to ask John about anything injury-wise, kind of rehab, recovery, anything really that you think a physiotherapist would be able to help you out with. All right, so that's what's happening tonight at 6. It will be recorded. It'll be going out obviously live, but it'll be recorded. So even if you can't actually watch the 6 o'clock session, send us in a question, and when you watch the recording back, your question will hopefully be answered on that recording. All right. So don't worry about not being able to make the 6 o'clock session. And I think that's it. Have we got any more comments? Mark, do you have any visibility of what's coming up early? What's coming up early bike-wise? I don't know what that means, Mark. You'll have to send me another message quick. I don't quite get what you mean there. Visibility of what's coming up early. Oh, I see. I'm assuming that you mean what's coming up, the training sessions a bit further along the line, because we're obviously only kind of giving the training sessions out a day or so in advance. I think maybe that's what you mean, Mark. Well, I kind of write the sessions as I go along, really. So I could do it a little bit further ahead. There's no reason why I can't do that, but I kind of like to see how people react to the sessions. What's the morning session in advance? Yeah, that's what I thought you meant. So I like to write the sessions based on how people have responded. So this morning session was really tough. So I would probably adjust that for next time we do that type of session. It won't make it easier, but just kind of maybe put a little bit more rest in there because it was super, super challenging today. And what we don't want to do is knock you out for a week as a result of the session. So the morning session. But what you can see is in Training Peaks, or tomorrow's session's in there. So you can see tomorrow's session, Mark, and tomorrow's session is the same as Friday. So Friday's in there as well. Saturday's a race. So at least you know what's happening for the next few days. And as soon as I get a chance, I'll start to put in the beginning of next week's. All right, that's what's happening. Oh, just in terms of the open water training side of things, I'm again writing the programs up for that at the moment. They will be done a similar kind of way. So I'll be writing them week at a time. I'm not a big fan of writing, big batches of training all in one go, because again, I like to see how people react to it. And so I'll be applying those to the training plan, and I'll send you out the details of how you can get involved in that. I did put a Facebook poll out yesterday or the day before, whenever it was, and had a lot of people saying that they're interested in open water training plan, because a couple of you guys are doing open water training at the moment, but there's no, unless you go there with some kind of structure, it's just kind of getting in and swimming. It's not the best way to make the most of your time. So I will write a plan for you based on 4 different types of swimming. So there'll be a skills-based session, a threshold-based session, an endurance session, and a speed session. So there'll be 4 sessions there, but I'm only going to program in 3 a week. And what they'll do is the 4 different session types will rotate across the weeks. All right. If you can only swim once a week, then you'll pick one of the 4 sessions, and then the next week maybe you do one of the other ones, and the next week you do one of the other ones. So you make sure you get a bit of a mixed bag. So there'll be plenty of sessions in there to choose from. I think that's pretty much it. So again, if you want to get involved in that and you haven't already contacted me, let me know. And that's people outside the squad as well. So if you're watching this and you're not directly involved in the squad at the moment, if you're interested in open water plan, then happy to make that available to you as well. We're not asking for any payment on it, but we do have a Patreon account which we're asking people to contribute to if they're able to. It's as simple as that, really. Okay, so I think that's it. So no more comments coming in. I hope that's been useful, and I shall catch up with you at 6 o'clock tonight. Those of you that are going to come and watch, again, if you've got any questions, send them in ASAP. But failing that, I shall see you tomorrow morning. Okay. Take care. Bye-bye.